When we first fall for someone, it's almost like walking into a really good magic show.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Great, because you are completely dazzled by the illusions, the charm, the presentation, but you aren't really seeing what's actually happening backstage.
Exactly. I mean, in those early days, people are working incredibly hard to impress you. They actively hide their shadow side.
Right.
They disguise the parts of themselves that they might be, a little ashamed of.
So today we are to figure out what happens when that initial magic show ends.
It's a fascinating topic.
It really is. It's to distinguish a person's superficial mask from who they truly are.
It draws this massive line between personality and character.
Okay, wait. Aren't those basically the same thing?
Well, no, actually. Personality is essentially just a social mask. It's how someone acts at a cocktail party to be liked.
Oh, I see.
But character is the actual inner strength and the basic values lying underneath all that.
Okay, let's unpack this with a car analogy. Personality is the shiny paint job, right? But character is the engine.
Yes. And if you only fall for that paint job, you are completely setting yourself up for failure.
Because the paint eventually chips.
Precisely. When the initial charm inevitably wears off, those underlying true traits start to grate on you. If they have a faulty engine that's just bursting with insecurities, you end up spending your life acting as a full-time mechanic for their emotional baggage.
Oh, wow. Yeah, nobody wants that full-time job.
No, they really don't.
But how do you practically test that engine before you commit? Because I imagine just, poking around and heavily criticizing someone on a first date isn't exactly a great strategy.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Hmm.
But you do need to see how they handle friction. It is entirely natural to feel a sting when criticized, but the real difference lies in the recovery.
Meaning what exactly?
Hypersensitivity and absolute outrage over simple basic feedback is a massive red flag.
Oh, right. Because if you're terrified to tell them when their behavior bothers you, you can't build a lifelong partnership.
Exactly. They need the inner strength to handle that everyday friction.
That actually reminds me of the Franklin Delano Roosevelt example.
Oh, yeah, the FDR story it's so telling.
Right. So FDR was wealthy, he was handsome, and he pretty much had his pick of traditional beauties.
Yeah.
But he specifically chose Eleanor, who wasn't really considered a standout in their social circle. He chose her because of her sharp intellect and her incredibly strong character.
He recognized that while physical attraction gets you in the door, the real benchmark of a relationship is time.
Mm-hmm.
He asked himself the ultimate question, which is, can I imagine talking to this person at the breakfast table 10 years from now without being completely bored?
Which brings up a very practical problem. Once you find someone with a strong character, how do you actually prevent that 10-year breakfast table boredom?
Well, you'd think having the exact same worldview is the answer, but sharing a sense of humor is actually far more critical than sharing political affiliations.
Wait, more important than whether you're both Democrats or Republicans?
Yes, and just to be clear, we aren't endorsing any political side here.
Of course.
Being on the same side of the political aisle is about how you view the world. But humor is about how you process stress.
Oh, that makes so much sense. So if you process stress the same way and you can laugh at the exact same ridiculous things, you survive the hard times together.
Exactly. Sharing weird, quirky values, like a mutual appreciation for cockroaches or a shared fascination with UFOs.
Honestly, at first that just sounded like a random list of eccentricities to me. Like UFOs.
I know,
Really?
it sounds super weird. But it's not just about being weird for the sake of it. Sharing those odd, highly specific passions creates this private microculture between the two of you.
And I guess that buffers you against outside stress.
It does. Plus, it preserves a necessary element of mystery. I mean, if you know absolutely everything about your partner after 1 year, your mind naturally wanders.
Right.
You need someone who still has depths and surprising ideas that you haven't fully mapped out yet.
So true compatibility isn't about finding someone with a flawless paint job. It's about finding someone whose engine runs well enough to handle life's bumps.
Right, and whose flaws and weird little quirks perfectly interlock with yours.
Yeah.
To build that lasting bond, you must look past the initial social mask. Prioritize their ability to handle feedback gracefully.
And lean into shared humor and continuous discovery over superficial charm.